I've also been struggling to connect. Mr. B, are we on live?
Yes, we have been live. We've been chatting with Ismail. I can just bring you up to speed. We have discussed issues on promoting
No, you
heritage.
don't have to. I logged on onto Facebook.
Okay.
I logged on onto Facebook just to hear what Mr. Ishmael was saying, and I was very excited about what he was saying about the national heritage of the Northwest, in particular the wildlife policy that he's developing. And I'd like to congratulate him significantly on that, because I think it all begins with policy, sir. And I come from a background where I used to work in policy development, and the questions that I really had around the discussion were more around those policy issues, to say what is the current policy in the Northwest in terms of a provincial film development strategy that takes heritage into consideration. Is there a strategy and a policy at the moment, or are we relying only on the national policy? So yeah, that's why I would have liked to have just started the discussion, Mr. B.
Okay. You know, he can go ahead and respond to that, I think. Maybe
I don't know if my
can
colleagues
you
from the Northwest are able to just assist with.
Ke ba thusa ka yona gore ke bua ka bommatlotlo mo ka batho ba go di-page o batla go itse gore ga gona le policy e leng in place for
Maybe you can.
okay. Hello, Mr. B. Hello.
hello. Yes.
Yes.
Hi.
I just want to clarify something, because we had invited the heritage unit to be with us today, but they are not here because they had other engagements to attend to, and the festival specified that they are dealing with language as a heritage. That is why we have a Red we had today, and not specifically people from the heritage unit. So Retingwe won't be able to answer the question that the gentleman just asked now, but he can talk on issues of language in films. That's the brief that we got. So I will, I will just give to Retingwe to maybe, with your guidance, to talk about language in films and the heritage of language in that regard.
Yes, please. Thank you for that.
Okay.
You can go ahead.
Should I go ahead?
Yes, sir. You can go ahead.
All right. From the government side, obviously we work on the mandate that is actually based on the previously marginalized languages. That is to develop them, to promote them, and to make sure that everyone is put on par, on board with everyone else. We know that previously languages like English, Afrikaans were the ones that were given more platform, or maybe should I say, they were the only ones that were used. But post colonial era, now we've got a mandate as per the constitution, as per the prescripts of PENSALP, that we need to develop, we need to promote those previously marginalized languages. But now here, the issue on the table is promoting South African heritage through film. But now, how can we improve or promote South African heritage in film using language? It is very much important. There's no way that you can be cultural and not having any language. You must be aligned to a certain language. Um, we know that language is dependent on culture. Culture is dependent on language. There's no way that you can separate the two. Now, uh, film is a very powerful platform, just like all other forms of media that are used. You talk about the radio, the listenership there is massive. Look at the introduction of Mzansi Magic, those channels that opened opportunities for uh, aspiring young filmmakers. It gave them platforms to allow them to broadcast their films there. But now, the issue of language, the issue of culture, if maybe I cite the examples of our three major soapies, your generations, how does generation help us to promote language? How does it help us to promote culture? I don't think it's much. It's just one sided, and then you're looking at the efforts that Mubango is making. Okay, we can see the much of culture that is being propagated there, which is the Bavenda culture. So many people now are aware of the language. So many people are now aware of the culture of Bavenda. Uh, what about other? What about other genres? What about other films? So the issue of language, the issue of culture, it can be also promoted massively by using film.
Okay. What's your take on that? Do you agree, Mr. Ishmael?
No, no, definitely agree because obviously you may not necessarily want to separate those issues. We need to be known by the way that we speak our language, the dialects, and so forth and so on. But to be honest, I think also as government, especially in the northwest, I'm not clearly wanting to step on anybody's toes or so on. But I think the emphasis that we put and the support that we want to give to people in this industry is not necessarily enough. I think if one was an outsider, one would want to seriously implore the responsible authorities to make sure that when you say you want to promote language, you want to promote heritage, you want to promote arts like in the film industry and so on, let us be seen clearly to be true to that, so that as we promote our language and our heritage and so on, there are specific programs for support that we achieve that kind of objective.
Yeah, absolutely. I know I really agree with you, gentlemen, and thank you so much for sharing that insight. But before I let you go, as a filmmaker myself, I'm sure you have watched those films where someone talks in a strange language, but their lips are moving in another direction. That is, we call it dubbing. So we call it dubbing because imagine if I made a brilliant film and it's in Sepedi or it's Zulu or Xhosa, and then it gains a lot of interest in other countries to an extent that they say, no, bring it, even if it's in that, because it really looks authentic. What we are going to do is we are going to put our own language over it so that your people that were talking Xhosa suddenly look like they were talking Chinese. I don't know if you've ever come across that, and I want us to end on a lighter note there to say what do you think about about dubbing those stories, What's your take on that?
Anyway, but now I think here from the side of heritage, from the side of language background, I think we need to change the perspective in the in South African situation. Uh, can we at least now be try to be real and now focus on our cultures, focus on promoting our own languages? It is also something related to what we have just said. Very much bizarre to have someone, let's say, it's a Setswana film, and then you have someone from KwaZulu to come and play the role of someone who can speak Setswana properly. I don't think it's okay. The same applies to faking of some actions. You know, I've watched many films whereby maybe this thing of portraying a ngaka, a traditional healer, maybe making those noises, and we don't have such things. And believe you me, these are some of the things that maybe somehow did, portray our cultures as wild and barbaric sort of. I think we need to put all this into more real life stories using more proper languages. That is in a way to develop culture. Like I've given an example of Mubango there. There's a lot that has changed with regard to Sevenda across the country. People can now greet in Sevenda. But now, why can't we have a film as a platform to promote other languages? Uh, if we have a group of filmmakers in KwaZulu Natal, maybe focusing in the Zulu culture, others in the Eastern Cape focusing on the Xhosa cultures, other group in Northwest focusing on Setswana, etc., etc., etc. Using those proverbs, using those idiomatic expressions, making language fashionable. Now, if we only use one language, total those hijackings, is our life only about hijackings? Is our life only about crime? Are we really building the whole person there? We've got children here who are developing. Do you think that they will be in good understanding, in good terms with our cultures, with our languages, if most of the content in the films is only crime, fightings, rapes, all those things you mentioned them, which I really believe that we can use this industry maybe to change the perspective of our young generation, to show them that there's more to culture, there's more to language, apart from all other these things that are being shown to them. And you know, negative things are easy to grab and to practice. Now, if you take your kids and then place them in such a platform, what do you think will happen? It will take them a lot for them to change. So as a society, somehow we are facing in a direction of death. So I think film can help to change that. Media can help to change that perspective.
Okay. All right.
Hence using, hence promoting culture uh, in whatever way possible. In whatever way possible, dressing norms uh, and other things that are part of our heritage and culture.
Hmm. No doubt, no doubt. No, thank you so much for that. That's very, very insightful. Um, we do take it in, and I think that you are making quite a lot of sense. Mr. Ishmael, coming back to you, what is your take on those dubbed productions, as they're called?
Dr. Ishmael and Mr. B, I think I finally have a proper signal on. Can you hear me now?
Yebo, now you are better.
I really apologize for the bad internet line that we've just been going through, but I'd let the conversation continue and that Ishmael answer. But I really appreciated the conversation as it was going. To just say, I really think that what Tensia just said goes back to policy, sir. It was the policy of Mzansi Magic to make sure that they started this thing called something, Isibaya, Isitembu, Isibanibani, because the numbers told them that isiZulu is the highest spoken indigenous language. It was the numbers that told them that if they produce in Setswana, they have a small audience of Setswana people that will watch that. So they made a decision that was based on apartheid policies to just say we are going to produce for the most, and it makes sense for them. It is really up to us to say, as Botswana, we are going to do it for ourselves. We cannot depend on the national government. We cannot depend on the ABC, or even depend on multi-choice. That's the last person we should be depending on. I throw a challenge to say, as the three of us sitting here, what was our last favorite Setswana television show? What was our last favorite Setswana feature film? And what are we going to do about it today to make sure that next year when we come back to the Rustenburg Film Festival, we've done something and we are not saying so and so has done this or has not done that. Matlakiaruna, only play right. Provincial policy. It starts there, sir, and I'll leave it at that by saying we need to just come together and take the responsibility ourselves, because there are lots of good initiatives that are happening, but we are not coming together as Botswana to say we all want to claim our space in this television content creation space. I'm sorry I was not available to connect earlier, but I just wanted to make that point. I apologize.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. No problem, Mr. Libone. Do not worry much. We understand internet troubles. They are everywhere. I want to thank you, gentlemen, for spending some time with us. And thank you so much for this moment. I think we did get something. The filmmakers that are going to watch this session or that are watching this session right now, they indeed got something. So we truly, truly appreciate. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you are here at the venue at Kingsgate, please do join us. We are running sessions in most of the areas here. We have got sessions running at the main hall, and we've got sessions running in two halls. Actually, you can go to hall number 1, and you can also go to hall number 2. On that, we thank you. I think the session can now end. Bye bye. Truly appreciate. Thank you.
You are welcome, sir.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you very much for the opportunity.
All right. Bye bye.
Essa vitória Uyazi ngani?
Le khalga ke lebile ka dira di tsa diranta ka ene.
Imali yempahla yokuqala imelile. Impahla yesibili isiyishifta. Nabafana sibili.
Thandela khona. Inkanyezi namweni yes.
Where is he? Uyeza mngani bekezela. Mhlawumbe usendleleni. Hayi. Usizwa matholakala.
Ngento mhlawumbe nasi isithombe sakhe awuthenga isibone Manas. Lalela la. Benginamathombatela amabili la. Cheriam nemngani wakhe. Mazange abaphinze babuyele hostel kwenzakaleni kubo.
So, ama-clients ajabule ngale msebenzi wakho.
Msebenzi wami.
Go on.
You are under arrest for human trafficking. Anything you say will and can be held against you. Court of law. Let's go.
Ya umuntu lo ngoba ne-idea ukuthi kuphi lapha manje ngiproject.
Project.
I'm busy boss lady for Mahal. Thank you, babe.
Hello, is er kasi jealous with the plastic niya timos. That's Papa P.
That's why I said I'm
Okay, if you're not working, no infected, then you deserve it.
Phineas is my garden boy.
Data detective. Phineas has a garden boy. Phineas ke ra di chelete le ga di business. Even o tsama ka Mercedes.
Ke tlhoka go botsa something.
So, you want me to wake up and make you breakfast? Can't you see I'm sleeping?
But you are my wife, baby.
Oh, I see. What are these?
What?
Those.
Hands.
Do you know where the kitchen is?
Yes, I do. But what has it got to do with anything?
Good. I'm happy that you have hands and you know where the kitchen is. So you can just go to the kitchen, make yourself breakfast by yourself, and leave me in peace. Can I go back to sleep?
Give me the numbers, man. Like Evans, give me the pin. Give me the numbers, man. Give me the pin. And get some cheese. Give me the numbers, man. Like Evans, give me the pin. Give me the numbers, man. Like Evans, give me the pin. And get some cheese. What's up?
Malume. Ubethini ngendaba yamafama?
Wengafuni wazi ukuthi wena unefa.
Uchaza ukuthi ubaba utransfer yonke le mali kwi-account yakhe.
Kanti zobe ngikutshontshele imali.
Ngolwazi lami wayidlulisele ebhenki lakhe yonke imali.
Sekuyomela sivele singenele yonke into yakhe.
One time pin. Go.
warm welcome to Rustenburg Film Festival.
And this year we are bigger, better and better.
But before we go any further, a word from our VIP.
Every filmmaker wants to screen at a festival and have an opportunity to experience audience react to their films and engage in Q&As. Jury members from various countries convene to rate the films in order to determine nominees and winners. I wish all films in competition the best.
Rustenburg Film Festival started far back as Bojanala Film Week.
And in 2020, it was rebranded to Rustenburg Film Festival.
And to date, we have over 1,000 filmmakers that have benefited from workshops and information sessions.
This year, Rustenburg Film Festival went into full screening mode, inviting filmmakers from all over the world to submit their stories.
This year, we received 453 film submissions from 33 countries. 55 films from 16 countries were selected.
Hamba uya esikoleni
The Rustenburg Film Festival was inspired by seeing a lot of graduates, especially in the Northwest province, not being able to access the industry, especially within our province. And then again, seeing a lot of people that were interested in the industry and could not afford going to film school and so forth. So we decided to build a platform where we can have all these filmmakers and wannabe filmmakers to come together and network and have access to the information pertaining the film industry.
As a festival, our key mandates are to develop filmmakers in Rustenburg and Northwest in general. We do this by programming workshops which are relevant to their times and getting very well experienced filmmakers to facilitate.
Another key mandate of the Rustenburg Film Festival is to promote. We promote talent through screening in various platforms, exposing the talented filmmakers to key industry players.
Our key mandate that happens organically at the festival is Connect. It is at this time where we bring broadcasters, funders, distributors, sellers, buyers, anybody who is important in the value chain under one roof. As a festival, we are grateful to the stakeholders that have been with us since the beginning. We are very excited to have retained some of them and really looking forward to be having more stakeholders on board so that we are able to reach out more to the people who really needs to be part of our journey.